Okay, this is guard session. Reel 1, take 1.
1, 2.
Up to the minute, up to the minute, up to the minute man. Swing to the guard, your national guard, on the land and in the air. Oh, swing to the guard, your national guard, on the ready, everywhere.
This session's for your National Guard, our singing star, Tony Bennett, Krupa and the boys, and my name's Martin Block. This guard session, just like all the rest, includes music you've never heard before because Studio A here in New York is the scene of a brand new session every time, bringing together some of the greats of the music world. Today, Tony Bennett and Krupa.
You know, Martin, there aren't too many things like this going on anymore, where you get together and make music for radio.
Yeah, mostly these days it's records or TV.
You are so right, Gene. These guard sessions are one of a kind. Everybody hears it just as it happens.
With time out for first readings and rehearsals.
And a chance at another take if someone knocks over a music stand.
Yeah, but these are the real McCoy. I mean, a fresh performance. Like, Tony, how many times do you figure you've sung Sometimes I'm Happy?
Well, I quit counting.
Well, how many times with Krupa?
Well, this is the first.
So everybody gets the idea on what we deliver with guard session. And it's time we were in the main business right now, Tony. Gene sets the beat, and I say take 1, and it all happens for the first time on guard session. Tapes rolling, we're on our way.
Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm blue. My disposition depends on you. I never mind the rain from the sky if I can't find the sun in your eyes. Sometimes I love you, sometimes I hate you. But when I hate you, it's 'cause I love you. That's how I am, so what can I do? I'm happy when I'm with you. Sometimes I love you, sometimes I hate you. But when I hate you, it's 'cause I love you. That's how I am, so what can I do? I'm happy when I'm with, I'm happy when I'm with, I'm happy when I'm with you.
Sometimes I am happy, the Tony Bennett way for guard session, aided and abetted by Krupa.
Aided and abetted, Martin? I do it all with brushes and sticks and fine, soft mallets.
We don't care how, Gene. We like the results. Just shows what knowing your business can do for a guy. You end up a leader.
I'll let you in on a secret, Martin. Whoever is conducting the drummer is always the leader.
I know some people that would give that an argument, maybe, Gene, but in your case, it's guaranteed true. But for the people who can't play drums, we've got another leadership lead.
This figures to be the National Guard.
Uh-huh. Never before have young men in the Guard had the leadership opportunities that exist today. Building leaders is another part of the Guard tradition. In World War II, for example, 80,000 National Guard enlisted men became commissioned officers. To make it possible for qualified young men to become second lieutenants, there's a National Guard OCS program in nearly every state. Take over, take charge, take command, however you want to say it, get in the Guard today so you can be one of its leaders tomorrow.
Sure, Martin, but what do you do about guys who play drums? They're the ones I've got to watch out for.
I wouldn't worry about that, Gene. With you around, there's nothing left but back seats. Now, let's get it right with some of that Krupa style now. The Guard session swings along with take 1, I Got the World on a String.
All right, stop. 2, 3.
Krupa with The World on a String in more ways than one. And we've got him and Tony Bennett on a rolling guard session. What's on the stands next, Tony?
Small World, Martin.
Now, there's what I call the luck of the draw. 2 world songs. Tony Bennett, Small World, take one.
Funny, you're a stranger who's come here, come from another town. Funny, I'm a stranger myself here. Small world, isn't it? Funny, you're a girl who likes traveling rather than settling down. Funny, 'cause I'd love to go traveling. Small world, isn't it? We have so much in common. It's a phenomenon. We could pool our resources by joining forces from now on. Lucky, you're a girl who likes children. That's an important sign. Lucky, 'cause I'd love to have children. Small world, isn't it? Funny, isn't it? Small and funny and fine.
Tony Bennett, Small World. Tony, I need some help with the numbers.
Well, what'll you have, Martin? Anything at all?
Well, I've got a list of numbers here, and I'd like you to do them.
Well, if they're in my key, let's see, 70,000, 24...
Wait a
92.
minute. One at a time. 70,000 is the number of officers and men in the Air National Guard, which makes up
24.
wings, which is a total of
92.
flying squadrons. Now we're getting those numbers down pat. What's next on the list, Tony?
Well, these I know. C-97, F-104, F-100. Those are all aircraft types.
Thanks, Tony. And those are some of the planes the Air Guardsmen fly. C-97 Stratocruisers are rugged transports flying global missions. The others are supersonic fighters that are standard equipment for the Air Guard jet jockeys. So that's the Air Guard by the numbers, and I might just add there are over 3,000 rated pilots in the Air Guard, citizen airmen who are ready now. If you wish you were one, the place to check is your nearest Air Guard base. Oh, yeah, there's one more number. This time with help from Krupa.
Stompin at the Savoy.
And there's a number for a guard session. Krupa all the way. This time we'll call it Take One. And tape's rolling.
Here you go, watch it.
Well, while Gene Krupa's doing all that stomping at the Savoy, I guess I'll just do a little pussyfooting out of Studio A because time's up for this session. But we'll be back next week with Gene Krupa's drums and Tony Bennett's war chants. Until then, this is Martin Block saying so long for your National Guard.
Okay, this is guard session, reel one, take one.
1, 2. Up to the minute, up to the minute, up to the minute, man. Swing to the guard, your National Guard, on the land and in the air. Oh, swing to the guard, your National Guard, on the ready, everywhere.
This session's for your National Guard. Our singing star, Tony Bennett, Gene Krupa and the boys, and my name's Martin Block. It's another guard session, special music for your National Guard, but you don't have to be a guardsman to enjoy it, because when Tony Bennett's on deck, Gene Krupa's sitting at the drums, just about everybody gathers round the bandstand.
It's kind of great, too, Martin, when the folks start asking for their favorites.
Like the old days with the one-nighters, eh, Gene?
Yeah, only for a guard session, things change a little.
You mean the requests come from the producer and the director and some of the guardsmen who come to the session?
But people ask for the same thing, no matter.
You know, I figured that Caravan was probably always on the list, no matter what the occasion.
Right.
And this guard session is no exception. Better nail down everything movable in Studio A here in New York, because it's going to happen. Gene Krupa, take one, Caravan. Gene Krupa and a great oldie.
Yeah, how far back do we go with that one, Martin?
Why, I'd say the 20s anyway. I haven't checked the date.
Oh, I'm happy with that kind of history anytime.
So try a little of my kind of history and see how you like it.
I'm game. Now, how far back do we go?
Oh, I'd say about 300 years.
Hold on there, old buddy. I'm off the Charlie.
I know that, but you see, that's where we find the earliest roots of the National Guard. Back in the days of the citizen soldier who put down his pitchfork and picked up his rifle to stand sentry duty or to give alarm to his neighbors in case of fire or attack. In the same tradition and with the same spirit, National Guardsmen are manning 82 Nike missile batteries, standing watch in the nation's first line of defense. Soon, all of the Guard batteries will be equipped with the Nike Hercules, the Army's supersonic air defense missile. The up-to-the-minute men of today's National Guard are helping to guard America's great cities just the way the militiamen did back in colonial times. They're ready now for any call. So how do you like that kind of history, Tony?
Just fine, Martin. You know, it's funny. I never thought of the National Guard being 300 years old.
Well, it is, and that's the truth.
So I'm happier than ever to be in on this Guard session.
Speaking of which, the tape is certainly rolling. Are you set with Sunday?
Sure.
And then I'll just go through the formality of saying it's take one, Tony Bennett.
I'm blue all day Monday, thinking over Sunday, that one day when I'm with you. It seems that I sigh all day Tuesday, I cry all day Wednesday. Oh my, how I long for you. And then comes Thursday, gee, it's long, it never goes by. Friday makes me feel like I'm gonna die. But then comes payday, that's my fun day. I shine all day Sunday, that one day when I'm with you. Comes Thursday, gee, it's long, it never goes by. Friday makes me feel like I'm gonna die. But then comes payday, that's my fun day. I shine all day Sunday, that's the day when I'm with you.
Tony Bennett and a great performance of Sunday. And what's after that on the list?
One with my name on it, definitely, Martin. Tenderly.
Very good. Tape's rolling for Krupa, and the time is now for a tender take one. And the session forges ahead, Mr. Krupa.
Mr. Block,
What's next on the list?
the one I have says ready, willing, and able, but I haven't got the melody in my head.
Well, so far, this is just a lyric, Gene. A National Guard type lyric, because that's the phrase that describes the Guard better than any other thing. A National Guardsman is that kind of a guy, always ready, willing, and able to respond to his country's call. And that goes for local emergencies as well as national. If there's a hurricane, and it seems that several times a year, there's a severe one these days. If there's a hurricane, the National Guard is ready to move into the area to protect property, to help save lives of the people who've been hard hit. Flood or fire, the Guard is all set to go with 3 centuries of tradition behind them of community service. And the modern Guardsman trains with up-to-the-minute equipment, too, with regular training periods that keep him all set to go if the need arises. So that's ready, willing, and able for you, Gene. The men of the National Guard. And the next few minutes of this Guard session belong to Tony Bennett.
Okay, Martin. And we've got one here that fits Gene Krupa like the skin on his drums.
Fascinating Rhythm. Hey, that ought to end up more of a duet than just a solo.
Well, it may end up a drum solo. I'm kind of fascinated myself.
Well, you never know the way it'll end up on a Guard session until you try it, which we are just about to do. Tony Bennett in close collaboration with Gene Krupa, Fascinating Rhythm, take 1.
Fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I'm all a quiver. What a mess making the neighbors wanna know why I'm always shaking just like flame. Oh, every morning I'm up with the sun to find at night no work has been done. I know that once didn't matter, but now you're doing wrong when you start to patter. I'm so unhappy. Won't you take a day off, decide to run along somewhere far away off and make it snappy? Oh, how I long to be the man I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, stop picking on me. Fascinating rhythm, you got me on the go. Fascinating rhythm, I'm all a quiver. What a mess making the neighbors want to know why I'm always shaking just like a flivver. Oh, every morning I'm up with the sun to find at night no work has been done. I know that once didn't matter, but now you're doing wrong when you start to patter. I'm so unhappy. Won't you take a day off, decide to run along somewhere far away off, make it snappy? Oh, how I long to be the man I used to be. Fascinating rhythm, won't you ever stop picking on? Fascinating rhythm, won't you ever stop picking on? Fascinating rhythm, stop picking on me.
Ah, great.
And it was fascinating for sure, and a duet of Tony Bennett and Gene Krupa. That's just about it for this Guard session. In fact, for a whole series of Guard sessions. Thanks a lot, Tony.
A pleasure as usual, Martin. And I hope that we'll make it again soon.
Definitely. And thanks to you, Gene.
I had a ball, Martin.
We'll be back next week with Woody Herman and sassy Sarah Vaughan. Be with us, won't you? Until then, this is Martin Block saying so long for your National Guard.